Hi, welcome to the Getman's Toy. I'm James Hart.
Bill Duncan.
Today we're going to talk about, I think I'm going to call it world events, but we're going to stick to the Olympics and Expo and
9/11, of course, since it is the actual anniversary of that. Way too conspiracy. I mean, it was interesting way back when, because when you think about it, it seemed like they were demolishing like the World Trade Centers on purpose. Like there was like the conspiracies that there was bombs already hooked up, so when they actually the plane would, without the explosives, wouldn't have been so major. But yeah, I mean, everyone overdoes a crime. I mean, honestly.
With all the accusations, there's been no like arrests, like I don't know.
Well, no, because it's an inside job. I mean, of course the government knows about it. It's just there's a chance where they could have stopped it. They could have delayed it, but no, they think that just adding flavor to this planet that's already pretty much I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of weird that each of the levels are going bam, 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 bam. Like there was explosives hooked up to the building as it is. And that's why it just basically became all like paper, or it just demolished all into dirt.
Yeah.
It's even funny, way back when, I also remember that George Bush kind of scuffed at Canada and always said, oh, it's Canada's fault for letting in these people from another country. Because, compared to the U.S. and Canada, Canada's still kind of a bleeding heart, and they always kind of help people out. But for some reason, we have the bigger country, yet a smaller population. So go figure. Globalization.
So what if the conspiracy was like brought out and brought to light, and everyone could see what went on? Do you think that how would that profit us? How would that be better, do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
just for justice to be done and the right people to be put away.
Yeah, because I mean, there's way too many like corruption in the things we think we're safe of. But at the same time, I mean, some people just want to prevent or not prevent. That is the question.
You're mentioning some conspiracies with the Olympics. What are they like? What's going on with the Olympics that there's a conspiracy there?
I don't know. I've just been thinking about Munich. And Munich was a thing that went totally wrong. I mean, it was kind of effed up because of the hostage takings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the iconic picture of the kid with the friggin' ski mask. But it's weird too, because I mean, like I've said before, there's certain deals with other countries dealing with other countries, and that's all thanks to basically Olympics or the World's Fair, where they do deals underneath the table in a sense, like things invisibly affecting one city in a good way.
And the Expo, that's every 4 years, or what?
Yeah, I think it's every 4 years. I mean, nobody really remembers that back in '88, it was the last year that both the Winter Olympics as well as the Summer Olympics were done in the same year. And then after that, and then they started the 2-year cycle of basically, not at the same time, but also in line, kind of,
I'm waiting to hear something crazy like aliens or something in the Olympics. Like,
no kid, there was actually no. I saw it too in friggin' like Britain 2012. I thought it was actual Olympic footage, and this is on TV too. Where at the opening ceremonies, there's a few odd-looking people, and there was even these reptilian, not even trying to disguise themselves, just kind of there somehow, going, "Ooh, humans! This looks interesting." But yeah,
in photographs or the video or
video. It was weird because I thought it was some kind of what? Strange. To the point where even with
the David Icke guy says that there's reptilian aliens in the government and everywhere, and they look like humans except they're reptiles underneath or something.
Yeah.
Is that
even Obama's special services or whatever, and that guy was the one who protects who's at the top of the food chain when it comes to working for the president to make sure he doesn't get harmed or just keeping security. And that's the weird thing too is he wasn't doing it on purpose. It was actual filmage, actual footage. I mean, and so yeah, sometimes you're this is just not making right sense. Because I mean, some of the stuff is is actually happening. They're not even having to make an effort about. Yeah. It's not a movie.
So what is the biggest conspiracy? Is it that there's aliens on Earth?
Well, it's all about how everybody's saying, "Oh, the end isn't here." And I don't know. I think something big is going to happen, or maybe not. So we'll have to just wait and see. Because that whole new world order is coming together.
On September 23rd?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that might happen that day, and some people do know, and some people don't know. But, I mean, I don't know. This whole year has been kind of interesting, especially even with the death of Robin Williams and Lou Reed. That was even more bizarre with Lou Reed, because there was a rumor of him dying already, and then he went on Saturday Night Live and said, "Yeah, I'm dead." And then a few weeks later, he's actually dead. So go figure. I think that sometimes they have to decommission celebrities. They're alien robotics or something, that these are, yeah. Because most of the reptilians are basically changelings that alter their, physical appearance by just concentrating with the cloak of a human. People are already onto these things, and people are kind of, I don't know. I think some people just underestimate the stupidity of some countries, and especially especially USA. I mean, they're kind of the bully of the world.
You said Earth was the bully of the universe.
What's that?
You said Earth was the bully of the universe.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look down the family tree, yeah, it's attached. I don't know, it's almost like them screaming for attention and people around them going, "Stop embarrassing us." But I don't know.
So what is the connection between all these different world events? Do you think
secret deals?
Secret deals?
Secret deals.
For instance, where the Olympics are going to be, who decides that? Is that a secret deal?
No, that's a OPP. Well, I forget what's the actual council. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because sometimes, I mean, what if you were like going to all the effort of making your like city or your bid good? There's always a chance of them saying a different country. And then it just got way too like crazy with both Olympics happening on the same day, well, same year, I mean. So yeah, I mean, Canada in a sense is spoiled because we were the last ones to get the actual last function of winter and summer on the same year. So go figure. But yeah, I mean, these things come up when, like, they're just kind of, like, when it comes to, like, even with athletes, and how sometimes they're coming from a different year than some people who are thinking it's one year when really they're representing another. So, yeah, that's why there's secret, like, medal count kind of deals done under the table. And, yeah, it's always been interesting that way. Like I said about Commonwealth, yeah. That's even more twisted, but in a good way. But I don't know.
And you believe in time travel, so there's people time traveling and changing shit, or do you think that's pretty rare?
Well, it just depends on the longevity of your calculations or your coordinates, and how it's like. What's the in between looking like from one place to another? So. You have to go through it like filler. It's tedious, but you have to go through it.
At the Expo, was there any conspiracies regarding that?
No, those are less populated now, unless you're actually the country that's hosting. And I think the last bid we had with the Expo was Vancouver, way back 1986. And it was weird too, because they also got, of course, the Winter Olympics, and that was another sweet thing for them. So having both Olympics and an Expo in the same city, it just seems way too surreal. I think it would be, I don't know. You're pretty lucky you're living where you are.
Yeah. Other world events? The Olympics is a really big world event. Is there anything that's like non-sport, more like an artist kind of world event?
Yeah, that's the expos, like where they're showing off their art, or different countries have different buildings and all that stuff, and they're saying, look what we have to offer. This is why you should take us, or move there, or move here. Yeah.
Which country makes the most comic books? Like Japan?
Yeah, Japan and the U.S. probably.
Yeah. Is there conspiracies outlined in the comic books about world events?
Well, you know what's really creepy is, I remember, and I've actually have it in my collection of like the first Spider-Man teaming up with X-Force, and they actually had the World Trade Center demolished by Spider-Man and X-Force battling the Juggernaut. So yeah, technically that was about good 12 predating the actual, yeah, it's weird.
Brain open. Rolling farter.
Yep, I love.
Use a phone call now. Well, phone a friend.
Yeah. So yeah, when I think about it, I mean, yeah, they actually showed that X-Force as well as the Spider-Man demolished, well, technically it was a Juggernaut, but this is like, yeah, like I said, it was predating it like a good 12, 14 years earlier, so go figure. And then even in the comic book, it doesn't show like a tragic event. They're just showing the superheroes, and they're not showing the victims or anything like that. It just seems weird, though. So have you ever been to an Olympic event or an expo yourself?
I volunteered for like a provincial Olympic, so it was like it was just watching skiers go around just standing there like as a volunteer. I actually got kicked out with my friend. We were joking around and stuff, and we weren't doing what we were supposed to, and they said okay, and they took our tags and said you can leave.
Oh wow!
But I was young, I guess, so
Mm-hmm.
I can excuse it with that. But
I don't know.
How about you? How
good
about you?
childhood memories.
How about you? Have you been to any Olympic events or anything?
Yeah, back in '88, Calgary.
What'd you see?
Oh, pretty much the opening and closing ceremonies. A few skiing events. And other stuff too. Speed skating always goes first though. They kind of, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the most hardest to get sometimes because speed skating is kind of like, I don't know. I mean, if you ever go to the Olympic Oval in Calgary, it's just, they don't have a lot of stands. And I think it's because it's supposed to be such a, I don't know, it just seems like they don't have a lot of room for spectators, but that somehow has a connection with performance, so you never know. Or even like the ones that you think about, like Eddie the Eagle, or the Jamaican bobsledding team, and how those two groups of Britain and Jamaica were kind of laughed at, but they were like, I don't know, underdogs, and everybody loves underdogs.
Yeah. Well, they see themselves up there on the ski jump. Yeah, I don't think he had been off a ski jump before, and he just
went crazy.
Represented England because no one else was.
Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsledders the same. But
and of course you gotta remember the pins, the lapels, the ones that everybody started to trade. You gotta remember too is that whenever there is a city that does the Olympics, sometimes other things like museums, like back in '88 there was a Spirit Sings, where it showcased a whole bunch of Native American kind of stuff. And it was kind of a cool exhibit. And then even in like '88, the Panda Bears as well. And that was made of, So like I said, all these kind of under the table yet things happening.
So we have about 10 minutes left, and I wanted to talk, wrap up anything that we didn't discuss or that you wanted to say about the subject first.
Not really.
No? Why did you pick this subject?
Because it's interesting. I mean, it's technically, it is the anniversary of 9/11, and I mean, even with like major kind of like hardship, people still get through, and some people keep on trekking and just onward forward.
And as for new shows coming up, do you have any new ideas?
No, I think it's your turn next time. So.
Are you getting sick of books?
No, I like your opinion on certain books, anyways.
Well, I'll read off what we got for future programs. Good and Evil in Comics, Books of Yesteryear,
Yeah.
Richard III, September 23rd, Greys, The Idiot, and Stephen Hawking's. And those are mine and yours topics. So, Good and Evil in Comics. I'm not sure if that's yours or mine.
Oh.
Because Good and Evil would be my subject, but it wouldn't necessarily be in comics. But
Well, we can work with that either way. I don't know. I mean, are you familiar with the superhero team known as Alpha Flight?
I've heard of them. Yeah, isn't that
the Canadian? Yeah. The Canadian superhero team.
Yeah, you showed it to me once before.
Yeah. Their first appearance was even done in Calgary's Stampede. It was in the winter, and they were kind of breaking into the grandstand, and that's where they had their little showdown. I mean, it's interesting how, and Calgary was actually part of the storyline when Alpha Flight made their first appearance. And then, I mean, even Vindicator, that's another good issue too, when he was trying to get back their so-called Weapon X, which is completely Canadian, like Department H and all of other wonderful things. Alpha or Omega. Omega Alpha.
It's interesting that Canada should have comics, because it's like all artists seem to want to go to the States to make the big bucks.
Yeah.
Canadian artists, they can stay in Canada, or they can go for the big bucks in the States, kind of, because there's way more people than
there's a few. Calgary, and as well as Vancouver, already has a wealth of underground comic illustrators and writers. And I mean, these things happen.
Well, thank you for listening to the Get Missed Toy. I'm James Hart.
As always, Bill Duncan.